I think we're going into a deflationary period, much like the late 19 teens. So 1918, World War I ended. Spanish flu also hit. So think about that. War, flu, very similar dynamic, right? And the other similar dynamic was three major innovation platforms that were going to transform the world: telephone, electricity, and automobile. They were all scaling exponentially and took us into the roaring 20s. So supply shocks took inflation back then to 15%, but within a year and a half, 2 years, that inflation started dropping, and it ended down. I'm sorry, the inflation was 20%. It ended down, deflation, 15%, roaring 20s. I'd like to think that's what we're going into now, and there's a high probability.
Cathie Wood, CEO of ARK Invest, recently discussed a variety of topics in an interview, including what is occurring in the economy, which companies share their thoughts on Elon Musk's Twitter acquisitions, and ultimately Bitcoin. The big news is that she has yet again forecasted $1 million price for Bitcoin in the near future, as well as an increase in consumers of Robinhood, Coinbase, and BlackRock. And now if you want to hear her views on everything, do watch the video until the end and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet.
So it's interesting to watch our strategy as fears about Fed tightening and more Fed tightening continue. On many days when the market's down, our strategies are up. Now that is what tends to happen. I'm not promising this is where we are. My compliance department would never let that happen. But in the later stages of a bear market, our strategy starts to outperform. Even it may just be that we're down less than the market. Some days we're up when the market's down. Why? Because during the later stages of a bear market, the new leadership shows up and starts performing. We're the new leadership. We always are. And many people think, oh, I've got myself covered with the NASDAQ 100. No, look deeply into those indices. We are the new NASDAQ. And most of our stocks are not in those indexes. We haven't owned the FANGs in our flagship for quite some time. That's not the new anymore. TikTok has come along and destroyed a lot of models. So yes, I think that we're seeing the early stages of a bottoming process. At the same time, many people are saying we're going into a recession. Now, we think we've been in a recession, and that the negative numbers will reassert themselves after this positive third quarter, mostly because of the inventory overhang, and we need to clear that out. I think many forecasters may say, oh, this is going to last forever, this recession through. We think it's just a major inventory correction, and then we'll be on our way again. Now, all of that is going into the cloud, and it was stimulated by COVID. These enterprises finally said, okay, we have a reason to make the change now. Two winners, Microsoft and Zoom.
What do you see in Robinhood? This is the mobile trading platform. You've been buying Robinhood in recent weeks. That is a company that's cutting jobs. That is a company that's retrenching. Yep. Some of their incumbent competitors, Charles Schwab amongst them, are doing very well. What do you see, though, in Robinhood?
Yes, so the Robinhood, along with Coinbase and Block, the three of them we think are in the running for dominating, potentially, the digital wallet space or becoming an important component of it. Robinhood is very user-friendly, and it is now moving into the crypto age, which is what it was missing. We've watched that very carefully. There is a company in Israel called Fireblocks, and we were very happy to learn that Robinhood basically ended its strategy of building internally its own crypto platform from an infrastructure point of view and hired Fireblocks. Robinhood's core competency is the user interface, the convenience, ease of use, and so forth. So it could become either the digital wallet, more likely it will become a part of a digital wallet ecosystem, either alone, standalone, or in partnership with someone, or as part of someone else. Elon Musk is our Renaissance man. or our Thomas Edison, perhaps. And if you go back and look at how many projects these innovators were working on, you'd be astonished. How did they do that? There are such people out there. Elon surrounds himself with great business people and engineers who want to work for him. He is solving the most challenging problems of the day, and they want to be a part of that under his leadership. And, you know, remember, he started in the payments industry. So we could actually see Twitter, and now we just started a public-private crossover fund. Twitter is in that fund because we do believe that Twitter, Elon certainly believes in vertical integration. He has the payments experience. He and Jack Dorsey seem to get along very well, and were talking quite a bit, as we learned from the documents that came out over the court cases. And so I think even Twitter could make a run at digital wallet, not just for financial services, but for commerce. Do you remember Vine? My son, I thought he was going to make movies because he was on Vine constantly. That was a precursor to TikTok. And so there's some DNA within Twitter still, I believe, that could introduce something like that. You never know. And then one of my first experiences as an equity analyst was in newspapers. And believe it or not, they were the rising stars of that day. And this subscription advertising model is a very smart move if he goes in that direction. The verification, that little check, is very important to people and could help clean up the platform considerably. It does appear that institutions are moving in. They're taking this price decline from nearly 70,000 to roughly 20,000 as an opportunity to move into a new asset class. And, you know, in 2018, Cambridge Associates, which is a consultant for the institutional space, basically said to its clients, okay, you may not like this thing called Bitcoin. It may sound like a Ponzi scheme to you, but it's acting like a new asset class. And that got their antenna up, because what institutional investment managers cannot miss is a new asset class that will diversify the portfolio, meaning lower the correlation of the returns. And Bitcoin is doing that. And we think other crypto assets.
And your team's holding on to the $1 million forecast?
Oh yes, more than $1 million.
Above $1 million?
Yes.
By 2030?
So that's pretty impressive, again, that Cathie Wood can imagine BTC price below $1 million shortly. And she also believes Twitter is going to fly high under Elon. But what do you guys think of all this? Let us know in the comment box below. Now, if you found the content helpful, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and do subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.